Alright guys, late start today, but we're going to get going here. Alright, so today what we're going to do is we're going to put everything together. And we're going to work on designing fitness programs for the whole body, the whole aspect of it. So you're going to get your endurance in there, going to get your strength in there, going to get every aspect of what you want to do to maintain your fitness. So by the end of this series of videos, you should be able to label the phases of our response to exercise. You can already do that. You should be able to define the concurrent training effect. What this is doing concurrent training, which is strength and endurance together, and what their interaction is. Provide a simplified molecular model to explain this effect. Describe how metabolic stress prevents mTOR complex 1 activation, and design a program to maximize concurrent training. That's going to be what you can do by the end of it. So there's really important things that you need to remember when you're training. And that's the first thing, is the top one. Training and performance are different. And a lot of athletes really struggle with this because they're so competitive that they want to win every training bout. But as it says in the second one, in order to be training, you need to be able to sacrifice some performance in the current performance with the idea of improved performance on race day in the future. So in order to make me my best in the future, I'm going to have to make it harder for me to train today. So I'm going to have to do things that are going to really make it difficult for me if I want to be better in the future. So what we talk about is when we're doing endurance training, we want to maximize the metabolic stress. All of the stresses of the metabolic components, all of those things that are generating the energy to do the exercise, while we minimize the mechanical stress, all of the impact forces, all of the things that could injure us over time. And to maximize metabolic stress, we have to sometimes perform more poorly. That's just a normal, natural thing. The third thing here is people tend to take the wrong nutritional supplements at the wrong time. So a lot of people think, oh, this is the world's greatest supplement. And then they're going to take a training supplement that's designed to improve their strength right before they do endurance, or right around their endurance training. Or, I'm going to take a whey protein supplement, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, an hour after I ate lunch. Not right. Not right. Getting these things right is going to be an important component. And the reality is that if we get our diet right, that's 90% of what we need to do. The extra 10% is if you really want to go that above 90% of your maximum. So if you want to be the top person in your, if you want to be the top age group rower for what you want, now you're going to need to train that extra 10%. But if you want to be fit for life, the 90% of getting your diet right, it's going to do much more than the 10% of getting nutritional supplements right. No matter how good a supplement is, if you don't get it to the right place, it's useless. This is what we talk about when we're talking about sending, when we eat a supplement, it's like sending an email. If you just send an email and you don't put an address on there, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to get to where you want it to go. It's not going to do what you want to do. If you send out a job application, and that job application is addressed to nobody or to the general population, it's not going to get you to the right place so that you can actually shine as the best possible candidate. So if you don't take a good supplement and you don't do it at the right time, get it to the right place, it's completely useless. And I'll give you an example of that in this series of videos. People don't usually train hard enough to achieve their maximum performance. A lot of people like to go they're going at that pace it's a hard pace, but it's not super hard and it's not easy. It's just that in-between pace. And that's the worst pace to train at. It's good to train easy and light for a long period of time, and then it's going to train at a very high intensity. That middle ground is really problematic. And so we're going to try and stay away from that. The second one of these two is a bit contradictory, you'd think, but athletes will train too much. They're going to train too much, but they're not going to train at the right intensity. So I'm going to train slower but longer. I'm going to train more, but I'm going to train at this middle pace instead of training a short period of time but go really hard, and then a long period of time and go really slow. Athletes tend to say, oh, well, my competitor is training 8 times a week. I got to train 10 times a week. They forget this component that rest is required for optimal performance. Normally what we do with an elite athlete is if they're not performing up to their best, we don't add more training. We take training away. And when we take training away, we give them better rest and recovery, their performance usually increases and improves. And then the training that they do, we're going to make them work a lot harder at their hard stuff and a lot easier for their easy stuff.